Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry, Macon.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the 980 AM.
I do have one other point of view.
LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
She's back on live, the historic 980 WDDO. All of a sudden, let's go into the studio. Our host, Brenda Sutton.
Hello. It is Monday again. I'm trying to tell you, I'm just like so happy. I was like, wow, time just flies.
It does.
It's just like you look up and then it's like, it's the weekend, and I was relaxing and everything, and then enjoying Big Hen, and then poof, it's
Monday again. Monday. Yeah. And guess what? Johnny is here on time today.
Yes. Oh, could it be that Johnny's on time because he was out of town and he want to just talk about being in Detroit around the Pistons and stuff?
No, I don't think that's it. Johnny likes to show up on time when it's going to be an interesting conversation.
Actually, I do want to talk about the joy that I was given in Detroit, taking those 70 kids for the first time to an NBA basketball game, and the joy, and they were fans. Do you hear me? They were yelling, defense, defense, defense. And they were even yelling stuff like when the guy missed the shot, these 8-9-year-old kids were going, I told you he was a bomb. Get rid of him. Get rid of him. So it was very entertaining for me. And it certainly warmed my heart. And I want to say again, happy birthday to my Uncle Tom, who God fixed it, where we had this game to go to with my non-profit that I'm a member of. And it was my uncle's 80th birthday. Mm-hmm. And he is the last living of my father's siblings, of which there were 16. And he is the only one of them that lived past 73. And he's now 80 years old. And that's Tom Holingshed. He's up in Shelby Township, right outside of Detroit now, Michigan. So it was a glorious event that we did with the Power of Life Foundation, the group that we tried to do some things here in Macon, and I couldn't get the cooperation of what's the commissioner's name?
Oh, Paul Bronson.
Yeah, but so this same group that took 70 kids to an NBA basketball game.
Hey, what's up, Sheila?
We couldn't get my guy to cooperate with me to do some special things here in Macon for our community and kids. But we're going to keep working on him because I know that.
That's your cousin, ain't it? No,
he's not. But I did grow up with his dad and his uncles right in the same neighborhood. And I know that he has that same good spirit about him in there. Hey. So we're going to keep working on it. But I want all the people
hey, Tina,
who are listening to know that the number is 478.
I'm trying to tell you.
250.
Come on now.
144. We want your participation.
And we will be limiting the comments because we can't sit on the phone with everybody today.
And you know what I'm talking about.
Hey, you know what? Hey, people, I'm trying to tell you.
I am slap happy today. Slap happy.
Slap happy.
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to start this conversation.
And I have on my hater blockers today because I know we're going to have some haters. So.
Oh, the hater blockers. You know what?
I should have worn
Well, by the way, I was out there coming in. And so,
Big Hen is on.
Bring Big Hen on. Because we need to be balanced today.
Why wouldn't it be balanced?
Hey,
because Johnny be needing some help sometimes.
Let her have her shade.
She just shaded you and me.
It's right? Okay.
No, I was just.
Hey, Hen, can you see me, Hen?
I can.
I got this for you from the Detroit Pistons, New York Knicks basketball game. I brought you a little souvenir, man.
Wow, how thoughtful. I
Yes, sir.
appreciate it.
Hey, man, you're a good man,
And we need you to scoot over though, Big Hen.
and we know.
Oh,
Scoot over
you
so we
can't
can.
Yeah, go to your right.
to my right. Okay.
There you go. There we
There,
go.
my baby. There, my big baby.
Okay, calm down. Calm down. He's not a dog.
You know, Brenda set this up for me, so there you go.
Yeah, there you go.
Now, speaking of which, this slap, okay?
It was
Brenda
the
just
slap
knows that
heard
I'm
around the
slap.
world.
Brenda just knows that I'm slap happy today.
That's right. Hey, look, dig this. Let me just. There are comments all over Facebook, right?
Yeah.
So this one person, I won't call her name. She says at one of the
Hey,
biggest.
Matthew.
She says that one of the biggest celebrations of entertainment, a black man slaps another black man
That's what I'm talking about.
on live TV, doesn't get kicked out or arrested, and he's still given the most important award, some say, of the night. This is that good old Hollywood magic. She believes, and she says, an act orchestrated to affect our self-image and self-esteem.
No.
This is what she thinks.
No.
And
no.
Self-esteem subconsciously, just as they always have done. She says that we are falling for it like this is real. And what is real in
Miss
her
Lawrence.
opinion is that they don't want us to be at peace and in harmony. They want us divided. And she says, wake up, people.
By the way, who is they? See, when I hear stuff, no, that wasn't anything orchestrated by the white man. That's what that is. The white man went out there and got a hold to Will Smith and said, I need you to go up there and
Brenda don't like it when you talk about her relatives.
No, she doesn't. because you have no proof that it wasn't orchestrated. And here is another.
Oh, no, it was not orchestrated. It was
Now,
not
I
orchestrated.
even have a theory about it being orchestrated. Now, this is what I think could possibly, might not be true, but what if Will Smith and Chris Rock are in on this whole thing
They're
together?
not.
Wait a minute. Just let me offer my opinion. What in today's world, you have to make it really be real. So what if Will and Chris came up, maybe Chris is the one that came up with the idea because he was the sacrificial lamb, because he took maybe Chris said, if you do this, then, because if you notice, he's the only one that hasn't said anything.
Who?
Chris.
Oh, no, he put out a statement.
So
but
take
go
this.
ahead.
So what I think could possibly be is Chris now, I'll bet if he does a stand-up comedy tour or he's going to do a comedy show
This will be the head of his
and he
comedy.
he has elevated his bargaining position because everybody wants him now. They're going to
want to hear what he has to
They
say.
want to
about
hear
it.
it.
what?
And so it could have very well been Chris Rock. Now that's just one angle.
And that's
That's
one
just
angle.
one
And
angle.
that's one angle. I'm just gonna say this, and this is one thing I would just say this about Big Hen. Big Hen, don't you ever call yourself protecting me to the extent that you lose those law license here.
Well, no, I'm listening to what Deacon Durong has said because I think his theory carries some weight. It's a hell of a publicity stunt. But now, I would just simply add to that. When you get beyond that perspective, it's questionable because, first of all, how was he defending his wife when Chris was not attacking his wife?
He was not. He wasn't attacking that
it's
disease either.
misguided loyalty.
That is, and see, he has right now. They're going to investigate this, Emily. They are investigating it. The academy is, and he stands to really get a charge on him.
I don't think they'll bring any charges.
Let me just say that legally, a charge could be brought by the district attorney, regardless of what Chris Rock decided to do.
Right.
It was a public display of a criminal act of assault and battery, and the district attorney has the authority to bring that
That's
charge,
right.
regardless of whether the victim cooperated or not.
And see, that's why I don't think it's a publicity stunt, because he has too much to lose by doing that. Now, do I think that he's tired? Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, really, Will Smith.
Who's tired?
Will Smith is tired. You come behind Tupac. You know she loved Tupac. Come on now.
Listen, I've been quiet, but I think that Johnny is 100% onto something. I had a long conversation with my brother earlier about it, and I said a normal human reaction when somebody comes up out of the blue and slaps you, the normal human reaction is going to be something that's reciprocated. Either he's going to swing back, he's going to say, what the, blank, or he's going to have some type of a normal human reaction.
Or he's going to run.
One of the two. The fact that he came up on stage, slapped him, punched him, slapped him, whatever you want to call it. And Chris Rock's response was just, wow.
I would have walled too.
But that's not a normal response.
It's not normal, but it's normal for people who are, I mean, really, if depending on what you got to lose, Emily.
Now, I think
if you got a lot to lose,
I'm with you on that, Brenda.
Because if somebody, if you really have to think about, to me.
But who has more to lose at this point? Let's be honest. What was the last thing Chris Rock did?
Well,
I'll wait.
I got you. But what I'm telling you, I'm simply saying that Will is privileged. Y'all ain't gonna like this. He's black privilege, okay? He didn't feel like he could do any wrong. Anybody with good sense would not have run up on the stage in front of all those people and hit somebody.
Well, you don't have to have good sense to be a good actor. So,
well, there you go. But
the other point is, with so much security within that facility, both private security of each of the actors and actresses, as well as the security for the event, Will would not have gotten halfway up those steps before security did something to intervene.
Now,
if it was not orchestrated.
Now, I do.
Well, not necessarily, because people walk on and off the Oscar stage all the time. So that's normal.
Not
they do
random
not.
like that. No, they cannot. Not random like that.
I watch the Oscars every year. I'm telling you, people do that all the time.
I'm telling you, as an actor, security than that is a casino.
Do that.
You know what?
That's right.
They can't.
But it was because it was Will Smith. I'm telling you.
But how many times has it happened? Let's address that. I hear you, and you're right. They're not supposed to.
Not Kanye in that set.
No,
not the hip hop people.
I get
We're not talking about
saying,
them. We're
in
talking
the history
about
of the Oscars, how many times has someone walked up on the stage that wasn't supposed to? It
No.
happens all the time.
But I tell you what.
No,
I got one
get
question.
Okay.
I got one question
They
for
get
you.
it okay.
Now, Matthew brought up a good point. He wouldn't have slapped Will Ferrell. He wouldn't. I don't care what. Some of the other black comedians, he wouldn't have walked up there and slapped him. He only did it because it was Chris Rock, because he knew Chris Rock wouldn't hit him back. Now, I'm just telling you, he didn't run up and by the way, people have always cracked on Jada.
Isn't Chris Rock from New York?
I do believe. And I'm just saying, would he have come up there and say on what's the man who think he always giving it the relationship advice?
Steve Harvey.
Would he have walked up on Steve? No. He'd have set his little happy, down. He wouldn't have walked up there. He wouldn't have walked. See, she said he's not that small-minded. I'm telling you, what Will did, Will is frustrated about August. It's that he got a whole lot of stuff going on in him.
I've heard a few people say that. I don't think this got nothing to do with August Alsina. What the two of them decide to do is what they decide to do with their marriage, whether they put it out there on a public platform or not. I do not believe that he was completely unaware about August Alsina. I believe that he was aware of every person that Jada has slept with, and Jada has been aware of every person that Will Smith has slept with, because they have an open marriage, and that's how an open marriage works. It's just the fact that we on the outside, because we're always on the outside judging and looking in, when I think the issue is that August Alsina was young. If August Alsina would have been 50, nobody would have cared. It's like, oh, okay, Jada's doing what they do. Will is doing what they do. But the fact that August Alsina was young, I think that's why it blew up so big.
You know, he wasn't taking up for his wife. I mean, because first of all,
he laughed first.
He laughed first. So how you tell me he taking up for his wife and he was
because he looked at his wife's face and he saw the disgust in his wife's face.
Then he should have sat there and took it. But you know, for you to decide after you have laughed, that wasn't genuine.
If a reasonable reaction to Jada's facial expression would have been, you say this to my. You insult my wife one more time, I'm gonna be up on that stage and get you. Now, then I would have understood. And then if Chris had then persisted in his attack, that's when going up on the stage like he did would be what a typical male would have done.
Well, I'm going to say this. One thing I am irritated about is the first time in the 94 history of the Oscars, we have a black producer of the Oscars.
That's what I'm saying.
We have more black representation because that was the whole thing. There was not enough black representation. And the first time we have just about every person that was on the red carpet was African-American. We get up there and get to acting a fool. I'm like, that's why they don't let us go nowhere. That's why they don't let us in. Because we show our tail every time.
But they did have it in Compton.
But you know what though, I think the thing, you know, and I'm gonna go back to, and let me just say this, because you know I've been reading about it and just going back and forth. You know, Johnny, give him that call-in number though.
478-250-1444.
See, there's a lot of things that tell me that Jada is full of it. Don't be trying to pretend like, oh, she's got alopecia, and I know it's a bad thing because my hair thinning out. I got that.
Well, that's that Caucasian party. But go ahead.
But see, now put it like this. Now you just made a joke, which is a good joke, and it's true. You know, it is. I do, but it is not something that you get so upset over and so bent all out of shape over. You got something called the red table talk. You thinking you throw all your business out there. You can't tell me you that thin skin.
Yes, I'm gonna tell you.
Jocelyn Brookins.
Jocelyn.
I promise you I love you, but that guy was not talking about a disease. And I don't know why people are jumping on this bandwagon. Even if I just don't.
He wasn't talking about it. He was just talking. He made a joke.
What I'm saying, okay, hear me out.
I think it's sad that people are associating that.
It is.
And I think it's sad that they're associating defending your wife and defending your family with this man's joke, because all it was a joke, and it was a fitting joke because they were in the one place where it should be understood the most, at movie making place.
Plus, it's not like he didn't warn Jada that he was coming for her. He said, "Jada, I love you. You know by that point there's something that's going to follow."
And he means no harm.
He was letting her know that it was not a vicious attack.
That's right.
No, that's right. It was not vicious. And then for real, after you finish laughing, okay, after you, then you're gonna go up there and do the I can't say it on here, but y'all know what kind of slap I'm talking about. You know that right there. That ain't even what a man do. A man don't slap nobody.
The slap you're referring to is backhanded. So it really wasn't that slap. But again, I want people to understand who might be listening.
If you're enraged, though, Deacon Durong, do you agree that it would have been not a slap, but a fist?
A fist
upside his head.
And I also want people to understand that I'm just offering different points of view. I'm not convicted to either one that I might offer during this time we're on. And like with Will, if like for me, if I've had a wife and he said that and she reacted that way, to me, what I think the normal reaction of that guy should have been was, oh, come on, baby, you know he up there just kidding around. That to me,
that would have been
makes more sense to
I
me
agree with you.
that he would have said, "Oh, come on, Jada, we don't be like that. We just over here kidding. The man's just doing the stick."
At least reach for him when he's about to make that erratic movement. Reach for him.
Wait. Emily got her glasses on and giving us the side eye.
That's fine with me.
No, I said I was just gonna wait because I don't want to keep hollering over everybody.
No, we don't want. We just don't want to do soliloquies. Go ahead.
The whole point I was trying to address, what Brenda said earlier when you are a celebrity on that status and you are known for your beauty, some people are attached to their hair. If you're speaking biblically, they say a woman's hair is her glory. So it is not our place to say whether what he said affected her in this kind of way or that kind of way. We can't put that judgment on her because my hair has been short for 20 something years. My hair was short, just like Jada when my husband met me, but that was a personal choice. I didn't have to shave my hair because it was falling out. So somebody that has built a career on her beauty, having multiple different hairstyles, having her own hair grow all the way down her back and it falling out in clumps and having to shave it, maybe she did. We can't put that on her and we can't not put that on her. So I think that people are trying to say that, well, he was making fun of her. Maybe he knew about, maybe he didn't know about the disease. I find it odd. He says that he's really close friends with her. Everybody that knows anything about Jada and Will knows that she's made an extremely public outcry about her battle with alopecia and her having to shave her head. The fact that people are assuming that he didn't know, I believe that's not true.
I didn't know, and there's a lot of people that could care less about Jada's head.
I'm talking about him.
Yeah, but we don't know that he knew.
You're not friends with Jada. That's what I said. I'm saying that if you're close friends with somebody where they've been pictured together, they've hung out together, they are friends.
But you don't know that he knew, though. You don't know. And I'm saying I've been around a lot of girls who for years or months
so you mean
thinking
to tell me
that the hair that I saw.
Quote unquote, I'm a nobody. We're regular people. And I know about this. You mean to tell me that this is a man that's been in Hollywood for over 40 something years that has a publicist? You mean to tell me that those jokes are vetted before they say it on the Oscar stage? So he knew. He just did not think that Will would react that way unless your theory is correct.
That's a possibility.
Where you just said something really powerful. You said the jokes are vetted. So that lets me know that
I think he went rogue. I think he added that little extra in there. Or again with Johnny's theory, because we hear on that it could have been all orchestrated.
But you know what though? And let me just say this.
Do you think Will's in the Illuminati?
No. Now you know we have to have a show about the Illuminati. I
wouldn't be surprised that if he is, because he is publicly acknowledged that he doesn't believe in the Bible, doesn't believe in Christ.
Yep.
I mean, he's openly said that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what though, Henry, I mentioned, we got a caller.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Oh, this must be Tina.
This is Tina.
Go ahead with your comment, Miss Tina.
Hey everybody, this is my comment. I went back a little further. I think it started in 2016. I think Chris Rock, Jada, and Will, they're all friends. Even when Chris Rock put out his statement, he said, I want to apologize to my friends. That means he knows them personally. So he's aware of what was going on. I think he did the joke in poor taste, knowing that she dealt with alopecia. Any woman that's ever dealt with alopecia, the public does not see how she cries before she goes out in public, or how she cries before she has to go to a beautician to try to put stuff on her head so other people don't know that she's losing her hair. It's an emotional thing. I just think it was in poor taste. I think he could have done it differently. I do disagree with Will slapping him the way that he did, but I do understand, because if you go back to the Oscars from 2016, this is way before Will and Chris Rock kind of became friends. He made a joke about Jada when Jada said, we do not have enough Black representation at the Oscars, and I'm going to boycott the Oscars, and I suggest everybody else do the same. When Chris Rock did the Oscars, he said, basically, Jada was nobody. He said, you following Jada to boycott the Oscars is equivalent to me trying to boycott Rihanna's underwear. So this is something that has been festering. I don't know if their relationship has been on and off, up and down, but I do think that there were some unresolved issues that Will finally got out, maybe in an inappropriate manner, but I do understand where he was coming from. And I think we people need to defend my wife. And I hear people saying,
please.
He was initially because he thought it was funny. But
I'm so sorry.
Not think it's funny. It's okay for us to say, you know what? Let me back up because I want to make sure I'm supporting my wife. I initially thought it was funny, but if she doesn't think it's funny, I gotta correct it.
But you know what, Tina?
Thank you so much for your comment,
Tina. I know we got a caller in behind you, but I appreciate you calling, baby.
Thank you.
You know what?
We got another caller.
Yeah.
Let them on.
You know, I just think that that when you're I thought it was somebody calling, but it just seems to me that it's some fake stuff that's going on with that too, because and I'm gonna ask you this, Emily. This is a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
If your husband is out there showing out, right,
mm-hmm.
and he's highly, highly upset,
Mm-hmm.
what are you going to do? Let Denzel or Tyler calm him down? Or are you going to get up out of your chair and do it?
I would get out of my chair and try to do my best. Now, I have a different type of husband. My husband is that guy. He's done it for me multiple times. And has he actually ever punched anybody? No. But I can tell you, I know for a fact, my husband has multiple times got in dudes' faces behind me.
Well, let me ask you this.
So every man handles things differently is what I'm saying. So some women say, I don't want my man defending me like that. Well, that's you, boo. All I know is my husband ain't finna go for no disrespect. He not finna handle none of that way.
Caller, I need you to call back in now because I didn't mess this thing up. What I'm saying to you is this. When Henry gets upset, Johnny,
Mm-hmm.
and Henry showed out. Henry, you know that time you showed out. Who could have calmed you down?
That's your version.
But he was taking up for me. Can't nobody. I saw the bull coming out in the China shop. He was giving a tear up something. I had to calm him down.
That's because there was a white man used the N-word. And
it's time.
Mm-hmm.
I was not going to take that.
And I got that. But what I'm saying is that I had to calm him down. You know, I had to be the one. I didn't see Jada do anything.
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. That's the thing that leaves questions in my mind. You're going to let somebody else come and calm your husband? Why you ain't do it?
I sure do hate.
But we don't know because we only what they showed us. We don't know. We didn't see the part where Denzel went over to talk to him. We didn't see the part where Tyler, other than the little clips that people are sitting in that were actually there. We don't know. We're all speculating.
I just hate myself that the conversation keeps leaning toward it being about her hair when the problem of what happened was the man, if it was a truism, if it wasn't staged, in my opinion, if it was a truism, the problem with what happened was his method of problem solving, was his behavior. It wasn't about her hair. It was about how he thought to go about resolution to what he thought was offensive. It ain't even, in my mind, I could care less about her hair. And I don't mean it in a vicious way, but that's not what it was about in my mind. What the problem is about is why let these young kids think it's like his son made the statement, and that's how we do it. And see, that's what I'm talking about. His son's perception or what his son expressed has nothing to do with her hair or the disease of hair loss. It has to do with our behavior. And then if I hear women when they talk about their hair, and when they refer to it biblically, I've heard the thing about the hair is the woman's glory, but it didn't say how long her hair had to be for it to be glory. And so how long must your hair be in order for you to consider it a glorious thing.
Longer than yours?
No, I'm just saying, where does it say that?
It's common sense.
No, but what I'm asking is, where does it say that in the Bible? Where does it say it's got to be 3 inches? It's got to be 6 inches. It's got to be 10. And for an ignorant guy like me, I've been around certain girls for months at a time, and I never knew that was weaving her head. I never knew she
wore then, something wrong with you then.
Yeah, and adjunct to what Johnny says,
I'm not the only guy like that.
It doesn't say whether hair has to be real or extensions for it to be the glory. So what
that's
real
what I'm
hair
saying.
versus extensions.
But the thing that
and so wait a minute, hold one more thing. So then, if it's truly, because if it's truly something sponsored by God, then who does God take the hair from then? So who does God punish? Because it's such a glorious thing to have hair. Mm-hmm. So then, if your hair starts falling out, is God punishing you?
Could be.
With the theories that you all are putting out here. So
I just said that's what the Bible says.
I understand, but
I cut my hair off in a second. So, I don't care about none of that.
So is her hair being taken away because of all the promiscuous stuff that you all mentioned earlier?
Could be.
And if Will is such a defender of his family, then where was he when his daughter was 13 dating a 20-year-old guy? So if it was all about family, and if he was such a defender of his wife and of his kids, where was he when, what's the little guy's name that his wife?
August.
Him. Where was he when it was Tupac? Where was he when
he
it
wasn't
was
in a picture with Tupac?
But I'm saying these other guys, there was some more guys.
Well, he did say it was after he shot the movie King Arthur is where he understood. He now understood the idea of protecting his family.
But you want to know
but
something?
Prior to that, he wasn't. I'm assuming he wasn't so much of a defender. He said it was the shooting of the movie and understanding who Venus and Serena's dad was, and by the way, which made him feel that way.
And by the way, and that was just a movie for him.
Yeah,
that was just a movie.
But Brenda,
all of a sudden you figured out, that you're supposed to be a daddy.
Brenda,
that his children are gender fluid. Come on now,
Brenda. Who coached him with that thing about the family and this? Because I mean, it was Hollywood scripted that would be the next heartfelt thing that he would say. Mm-hmm. When he came out with that, I'm like, dude, come on, really?
Mm-hmm. But you know what though? I'm just saying that I feel like. The thing with it, you put your family out there. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Your family. You talked about that y'all have an open marriage. I don't even know what that is. And I mean, I know what it is with the definition, but it's just not anything that, that's not a real marriage. And then, your children, well, that's just like being single. Y'all roommates.
Mm-hmm.
But your children, you don't, that you teach them that they're fluid. They can be whatever, whatever it is that they want to be. And so now all of a sudden you've done a movie and now you've decided you know what a father is.
Mm-hmm.
I think I have a challenge with that. All of a sudden you feel like you can just go up and just slap somebody because you want to slap them. I asked Denver in the car.
That's what he felt like doing, and he did it. I mean,
yeah. And I was in the car with Denver, and we were driving home. And I said, "Well, Denver, if somebody says something to you that you don't like, are you supposed to hit them?" She says, "No, ma'am." And I said, "So what happens if you hit somebody when they say something you don't like?" She said, "I get in trouble."
Mm-hmm.
Now she's 7.
Mm-hmm.
So what's up with Will?
Yeah, we was all taught that when we were 7, but when you get grown and somebody come at you the wrong way, you just don't know how you gonna react.
And by the way, and the other thing that you know about
you just got to deal with the consequences.
That's what I was gonna say.
We
got a phone call.
Oh, let them talk.
Hello, caller.
Hello, this is Gladys.
Hey, how are you?
Fine, thanking you. I think Will did the right thing by slapping him because when Chris Rock started talking, Jada looked up in the ceiling like rolling her eyes. In other words, she's heard this before him downgrading her. And I think he had the right to go up there and slap the crap out of him. And my husband would have done the same for me.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Ms. Glass. We appreciate your call.
I just want you to know Deacon Durham disagrees with that 1,000%.
But this goes to what I was saying earlier. You have some men that's normal for them. Like my husband is one of those guys that's just who he is. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but you have some men that are 100% gun-ho about their wives.
And my whole conversation is about right and wrong, not about what you feel like you ought to do. I just think the person, to me, who should be commended the most out of this whole thing, if it was real, is Chris Rock.
I posted that on my page. I posted
with the restraint that he exercised.
Yes.
Hello, caller.
All I can say is either you want to stop the violence or you want to continue the violence.
That's
They
right.
can decide what they want to do. You can't sit here and say that you stopping the violence and you guys are, commending what the guy did on TV, because they're teaching our kids the wrong thing. That's all I'm saying.
It is.
Right.
Mm-hmm. All right, thank you, caller.
I agree with you 100%.
And that's my problem with it. My problem is the
was
imagery.
Leon, wasn't it?
My problem is the imagery. There's the imagery of it. You see, like I said, my 7-year-old, no, you're not supposed to do that.
Mm-hmm.
My 7-year-old knows you're not supposed to do it. Mm-hmm. And what are you saying about a privilege? Because Will Smith is a A-list actor, that he has the right to go and slap somebody so that everybody can see him all over the world and then walk away with no consequence. He need to, he need to go to
which goes back to Johnny's original theory, which is what I said earlier. It has to be orchestrated because
it was a bad thing either way, whether it was orchestrated or not, because I come from a generation where if we got mad with somebody in certain places, what we would say is, we didn't get any less mad because you did the same thing to me and I was in church, or you did the same thing to me and I was in front of my grandma.
Right.
But I would say, you wait till we go over here. You wait until we get outside. But now, to me, what this signals to this already confused generation is, it doesn't matter where you are. Let's done.
And that started with, and you would agree with this with me, Henry. That started with President Trump.
Mm.
Yeah. That standard has fallen.
Hey, Andrea. That's Trump. Trump.
I agree with that
Trump's
too.
done everything. He just do anything and say anything, and I'm really concerned about it because I'm like the caller. It was violent.
Mm-hmm.
And I am concerned, how can I tell another young man or whatever, like I said, you're not supposed to go up and hit anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And yet and still we say it's okay because it's Will Smith and he can hit people because it's Will Smith.
But I think we just continue to teach our children, continue to teach our youth what's right and what's wrong. If you put your hands on somebody, it's wrong. But if that's what the decision that you make, then you have to be willing to suffer whatever consequence comes behind that, whether you get locked up, whether you get something you want taken away, or whether the person knocks the living daylights out of you and beats you up and puts you in the hospital. That is the consequence of putting your hands on another individual. So it's easy for us to say all of this. I think most of us teach our children right from wrong. We teach our kids not to put their hands on someone else. But hey, I also tell Jimmy,
no, they don't.
I said most people, not all.
Not most. It's not even close to most anymore. That's why Leon got so many deaths. That's why all over this country, these young kids are in all these violent situations. It's deteriorating. And I'm saying that was the last thing that our youth needed to see, to me.
I just don't.
I agree with that.
Yeah, I agree.
Emily, do you think that the Academy should take away his Oscar?
Yes,
I don't, because I think the Oscar was earned. It's just like saying, say for instance, you have a stellar career. You're a lawyer and you make one mistake. Should your entire career be? Should you be stripped of your license? Should everything be taken away from you? A slap is a slap. If the DA is going to press charges, they're going to press charges. He did the work. He earned the Oscar. He earned the trophy. Should his trophy be taken away? Absolutely not. He earned it.
It should be taken away.
No, why?
It should be taken
why
away.
would you take it?
And
why?
let me just say,
give me a good reason why.
Because he's not a good example.
A good example of what he did the work, Johnny.
Well, theoretically, he shot himself by the act that he committed has now become the discussion rather than the Oscar. The Oscar is barely mentioned at this point.
Right.
Andrea agrees with me. He earned the Oscar was earned. It should not be taken away because
in its own weird way though, the act of slapping him has become a sidebar issue because everybody's trying to make it be about him protecting his wife, and that's not what he was doing. That is not what happened. That's not the main point here. He was not protecting his wife, and women are so quick. Y'all get mad with me if you want to, but this "you go girl" and all that stuff, the sisterhood thing sometimes overrides what's right and wrong, in my opinion. And I'm still saying that the problem here was the violent act. They could have come up with something else if they wanted to sell tickets, but that act had the repercussions of that is far greater than her having short hair or her hair falling out.
Johnny, answer the same question that Henry asked me. Do you think his Oscar should be taken away?
I don't.
Okay,
but let me just
say agree on that. I do not think Brenda thinks otherwise.
Henry, if you're a lawyer, all right, if you do something you ain't got no business, what they gonna do to your law license?
They're gonna suspend or
take it away,
or suspend. Or take away my license.
They're not going to change it. But they're not going to change the result. But they're not going to take his results of his past cases. They're not going to take it.
There you go.
But if Henry slapped somebody, okay, he done lost his law license.
I know, but they're not going to go back and say Henry won this case. He won this case since he slapped somebody. Now we're going to change his verdicts. They're not going to do that.
But for Will Smith, I just think that no, they won't retract his work, but I just think that he was.
Well, that's what taking the Oscar back.
I don't think.
But no matter which cases I've won, the loss of my license then become the dominant issue.
Right.
And
is that fair?
See now I think that Will Smith can get blackballed.
He should get blackballed.
You know what I mean?
But he's not.
He should.
I don't know.
And by the way, I will not watch another movie with him in it. I'm done with him. I think he was.
So you stopped listening.
Girl.
Wait a minute, so you stopped listening to R. Kelly.
I don't listen to R. Kelly.
I'm just saying it's like you particularly.
No, I don't.
So many of these people.
I still do.
Still listen to R. Kelly.
I sure do.
I don't.
With the same.
No,
base
I don't.
theory.
I don't. But that's just me personally. I don't like that. I don't like what he did. But then too, my thing with Will and Jada is that whole thing. Y'all sat out there. You got, and I'm gonna go back. You got a polyamorous lifestyle. You raised them children. They about crazy. And then all of a sudden you get mad about some alopecia. Get out of here. With all the message you've taken and put out there, then you're gonna get mad with and I understand it's a bad thing.
See, I think,
but you mad about it.
I agree.
Didn't the man live in the house for a period of time with the children?
Yeah.
Yes, he did.
I don't get what the big deal is with
this.
Her.
Is what I've heard in my lifetime, in my 61 years. There is nothing like a woman scorned. I've heard that time and time. Now, maybe you haven't, but I've heard that many times.
I certainly have.
And to me, Jada was pissed at the way they treated her. Because under normal circumstance, I just don't believe what that man said. It was in context with where they were. Now, if they had been somewhere totally different at the bar or somewhere at the church or somewhere, and he made this joke about G.I. Jane, I'd probably say, hey, that was too much. But they were at the Oscars where they make movies where the people were most familiar with G.I. Jane, where it was the most appropriate place that he could have made that joke.
And see, my point is, if indeed, though, and that's what I'm saying, I know we're just talking, but if indeed it was all of that, if it was indeed it was all of that, then it just seems to me that Will would have whooped August and Rick Ross's, you know what. Okay,
that's what I'm saying. If they had that understanding, they have an open relationship.
But that's disrespectful, and that.
But it's not if that's the type of marriage you have.
But it wasn't. But it wasn't when they came back on him with that clapback on that rap record. Come on now, Emily, you know they were throwing shade.
That's what they do.
But
that's how rapping works. You throw shade on one, right? They throw shade on the other. That's how that works.
So, and what I'm saying, and Will was quiet. He didn't come back with no summertime behind that.
You know why? Because they have an open relationship. It's just that Jada is more vocal. Will has even admitted he's had multiple other relationships.
Okay, Andrea, maybe we didn't. No, he ain't whoop August because he can't whoop August.
I just don't think that the joke was tasteless or uncalled for. It was funny and it was timely and it fit where they were.
Well, welcome to America where everybody's entitled to their
That's what I'm saying. And I want these ladies to know I still love ladies, but I do not agree with you all who are trying to make it seem like Jada is this poor defenseless little thing. Get out of here with that. Get out of here with that.
He is not. She's not this little.
Yeah, like she's just this little poor little.
It would be y'all
defenseless woman.
Y'all cover me. Me and Henry. You know what, Henry? The other day we were out warming, honey. Somebody walked up to me. It was so sweet, and they started cracking on me because I couldn't cook, or they say I couldn't cook. Yeah, because Henry said it. Now, I could have gotten mad at him or whatever, but we put it out there. Why are you mad about stuff that you didn't put out there?
Mm-hmm.
That's my point. I'm just saying it with Jada. Jada, I'm really sorry that you have the alopecia. God knows.
And she is so pretty.
And she's
oh my
beautiful.
God. No, men looking at your faces. You can have hair down to your ankles. If you look like a monkey, I don't care how much hair you got. That's not gonna make me attracted to you.
Mm-hmm. But what I don't like, I said, y'all they put too much of their business out for me. Emily.
I'm sorry.
I
just want to apologize to all the monkeys out there.
They just put too much of their business out to be so hypersensitive. You follow what I'm saying? How you gonna be hypersensitive when I saw the picture of you with your leg all out, hanging all up on that little boy?
Okay, let me say this. I think in Will's defense, now Will came out with his book, and Will said talked about the hundreds of women he's had while he was married to Jada, because that's what they have going on. But society gives men a pass. We all know that they do. But when a woman does it, everybody was like, oh, she had a situationship with August Alsina, and they took it all overboard. And I was like, it's just weird how women do it, but give women very much slack. But when a man does it, they just, by the way, I think that because they put so much emphasis on the fact that
girls can't do what the guys do and still.
I agree with you 100%.
Women can't do that, and you want to know why? Come on, Emily. We can't do what a guy.
I agree 100%. 100% with Harry. Women, we've never been able to do and get away with what a man can do.
What a man can do, especially sexually. You cannot.
Absolutely.
A man
not publicly. Not publicly. As I first stated,
that's a different story.
Yeah, as I first stated a while back, I know we catch dogs out in the street, trying to make babies and stuff all the time. And we never see cats in that act. But it's a whole lot of kittens around here.
But it's we're talking about it. But I've seen some other moments that have that this slap overshadowed, and that's the sad part to me. Mm-hmm. That all those other people that won awards and such is overshadowed by actually Will being selfish.
So
because that was a very selfish act.
So either way, if it was orchestrated, it was a bad plan because it deflected from what's the guy's name that was produced the whole thing?
His name was Will something, but the black guy that did.
And then the guy from the Black Eyed Peas. The guy from the Black Eyed Peas won this documentary award, for the first time, and it was a lot of things.
And then, and let me ask you this:
that got overshadowed.
And I'm going to say, if they were white comedians, okay, if these people were white, would we still be having this conversation today?
Probably.
I doubt it.
We'd be laughing.
No, the Oscar would be threatened. It would be threatened to be taken back.
That's right. I'm telling you that if it were, and that begs to me, because it was black folk that was doing it, then Will's act have been minimized because it was against another black person. So, I just think if it were other race, and I do think if it was white people, it would be done differently.
So see, when you say it's minimized, that's what the first
she was
thing
she was talking about.
She was trying to say it was normalcy.
What would a white comedian have done?
No, she said, would a white comedian have done that?
They would. No, they make all kind of crazy jokes, but then they laugh stuff off, and they'll wait until it's all over with, and then they'll go. Because I'm got a lot of Caucasian in me, and I really feel I can speak for the Caucasian race, more so than anybody else. Maybe outside of you, Henry. You may have a white in you.
See how you came after me, and I didn't see
you. Leave my brother alone.
But
so would a white comedian have done that? The answer is no.
A white comedian.
You know what I think?
Yes, they
no, because of the backlash.
Right. You know what I think would have happened if that had been a white female that he made that joke about? They would have parlayed that into trying to get the next G.I. Jane movie done. So Jada could have taken that moment in reference to try to push for the sequel to the movie that Demi Moore. There's so many different ways it could have been taken.
And she would have been an awesome G.I. Jane.
But I think she made a bigger deal out of it because of the conflicts that she had about the Oscars. I think this is another angle I'm saying that I could take, that this was about a woman scorned.
No, he wouldn't. No, he wouldn't have said about a white woman. But then too, let me just say this: I don't think that Will Smith would have slapped certain folk. I still say it was just because it was Chris Rock.
The thing is, we don't really know what happened.
But
we're just theorizing.
What we're theorizing is, Tina.
That's a word.
Tina talked about.
We'll take it.
She says, you don't understand what it's like. I know I don't understand what it's like to step in the shower and have hair come out. I got that. I wouldn't understand that. But what I do understand is I don't like the image that of those two men on stage doing what happened. I think it could have been done. I don't like it.
Unless they had come back after the commercial break and say, gotcha. You know what I mean? That's what I was kind of waiting for. Gotcha. But when they never did that, then I'm like.
And then Will Smith acting like he mad. He act like he mad up in there.
Well, I did get a clip from someone that sent me, and Will was at the after party, and he could not have given two. You know what? He was dancing with the Oscar in his hand, and he was singing his song, getting jiggy with it. I mean,
what I really hope from him.
So I think our theory.
So what did Chris Rock say? I never saw any comment from him.
Okay, I posted it on my page. I'm gonna read what Chris Rock, his official statement that he put out today.
Even if he's sorry or whatever, like he just sorry that it got that far. But Chris is gonna come out like this. Let me tell you something. I'm going to see him on tour because he's gonna have some great.
I've never been a fan of Chris Rock, but that's neither here nor there.
Too funny.
Okay, let me read to you his official statement. As a comedian, it can be difficult to understand which lines are to be crossed and which ones aren't. Last night, I crossed a line that I shouldn't have and paid the enormous price of my reputation as a renowned comedian. Comedy is never about poking fun at or making light of people with major ordeals happening in their lives. Comedy is about using real-life circumstances to create laughter and bring light to an otherwise dark world. With that said, I sincerely apologize to my friends Jada Pinkett Smith and Will Smith and the rest of the Smith family for the disrespect and disregard I displayed, which was unfortunately broadcast for the world to see. I hope that with time, forgiveness can come of this situation, and we can all be better and more considerate people in the end. Chris Rock.
That was him. That was his spokespeople.
Let me just say this.
His publicist.
Yeah, that wasn't him.
By the way, and where is the apology from Will Smith?
That's what I'm saying.
Where is his?
What did I just tell y'all? I got a video of him dancing at the after party. It ain't coming. Because he did what he did.
But what I'm saying is, and that's why they need to take that Oscar from him and charge him, because he has no remorse.
They're not going to take that Oscar from him.
He has no remorse. He has no remorse, and he needs to be punished.
On another level, I can respect it. Like, hey, if I took the time to come up and punch Brenda in her face, I punched you because I meant it.
Well, then
period. I don't need to offer an apology.
Well, you need
I punched you because I wanted to.
He needs to apologize.
What is the apology for? I did it because I wanted to.
Just know if you punch Brenda, there'll be 12 unmarked cars here in like 5 seconds.
If he put his hands on me, because see, my name not Chris Rock. I'm telling you, if he put his hands, I ain't gonna care about that TV. I ain't gonna care about nothing. It's gonna be on and popping. I mean,
and technically, he didn't really apologize to Chris. He apologized to the Academy and the viewers.
And by the way,
but Chris was included in.
By the way, and he is low class. He's low class.
Oh, Brenda. See, this cancel culture, I hate it. I hate this whole. The minute somebody makes a mistake, the Black community always want to cancel somebody. Look at all the good that Will Smith has done. His philanthropy work, everything that he's done, and this man makes one mistake and you ready to cancel him? Why?
He need to say he's sorry.
But why do you need to hear his sorry? Why do you need to hear
because what he did on
national, we're egomaniacs.
No. What he did on national TV was wrong, and he owes Chris an apology.
Whether it was orchestrated or not, I still say that the Jada Pinkett part, for people to sit up and be trying to be down on Chris Rock is ridiculous in my eye. The man has been a comedian for most of the people who are commenting since they've been on the planet.
Exactly.
That's what he does. And all these people, most of these people, I say that, with all of these, it was out of bad. Those are the same people that went to Bernie Mac's concert, that went to Cat Williams' concert, that went to Dave Chappelle's concert, that went to all these comedians' concert and sit and watch them and D.L. Hughley point out somebody in the audience and say, man, your buttons on your shirt are screaming. You about to pop them. And then nobody stands up and says, well, now he's offending the obese population and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And obesity is a disease, and obesity is a great concern in the medical community. But just because it was this girl, now here comes this sisterhood woman thing movement, when I just think it was simply a great joke in the right arena for the joke. And it was the G.I. Jane thing.
And by the way,
it was timely to me.
It was, and then too, like I said, I think the thing for me is that Will, if you was gonna come for somebody and you really felt like that's what you needed to do, then you should have went for August and some of the other men.
No, what he should have done was grab Jada by the arm and say, look, you ain't going to embarrass me in here tonight. I'm about to win this Oscar. And if you think you're going to be up in here trying to, act all like that, then, can somebody come and get Jada, please? Because she was up there performing. Because I don't care what nobody says. There was no reason for her to give all that. All this. It was no reason for that.
And by the way, and then today,
she's in the business. I could see if she was just Betty the homemaker. I could see if she was Susan the bus driver and had never been in that arena.
Right.
She knows that's what happens there. That's why I don't buy all this pity party for her.
I don't.
I just don't do it.
And that's why I talk about her in the red table and her polyamorous lifestyle and the way she raised them bad children she got. I talk about that.
Thank you, Tina. Why apologize for something you're not sorry for? He did it. He's not sorry for it.
Tina.
And his Oscar should be kept. They should not revoke his Oscar.
You know what? I think it need to be revoked, Tina.
See, I was really trying to give Will and Chris a way out of this, and then Chris could be monetarily compensated if they take my plan. Tell everybody this was the plan, and y'all had to play it out for a couple of weeks or so to really.
What make our kids? What make our kids bad? Have you seen? I don't even think they have a high school diploma.
Anybody's kids, they got. You know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna.
All I'm saying to you is that when you have and you pick and put your family out there, and I still say, certain things you keep in your house.
Who cares about the kids? I'm worried about these kids in Bloomfield. I'm worried about these kids over here in Unionville. Who cares about these rich, privileged kids? You know what I'm saying?
And please. That's what I'm talking about, the privilege part of it. I bet you, if you went on TV and slapped somebody, I bet you going to jail.
I'm sure I would.
And that's my point.
But I ain't gonna. If I slap you, I ain't finna say I'm sorry.
We're gonna find out.
We love y'all. We'll see y'all. Talk to y'all next
Yeah, we're
Monday.
gonna see what the progress is next week about the slap.
The slap heard across the world.
It'll be the mom like
we
got ya. Yeah, we got you. Come a week later.
Thank you for calling in our callers, and thank you so much for Tina.
You've been listening to All of a Sudden. Join them every Monday evening from 5:30 to 6:30. All of a Sudden with your host, Brenda Sutton. That's every Monday. We'll see you there.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Connecting the community through gospel. The new 107.9 FM, W300 EB, Macon, and WDDO 980 AM, Perry.